What's up? How's everybody doing? So there was a bit of confusion because I thought this wasn't going to be today because I thought I had a session, but it turns out that session is not until Monday of next week. So the session is happening, and this is happening as well. Hello, energy's a little low. It's raining out. Today, we're listening to Patreon suggestions live. We've changed some things on the Patreon. Now, Patreon gets 3 live streams plus an anime stream. They get 2 public live streams, 1 private live stream, which is like an investor call with me where we chat, catch them up on the month. And then there's a anime live stream that happens once a month over on Patreon in an unlisted video on YouTube. So today we're going to be listening to music for, well, as many suggestions as I can for the next couple hours. You're hearing double because I think I'm on Twitch. Nope, I don't know why you're hearing double. Nope, I don't know. All right. Let's dive into some video game music. June suggestions. Hey guys. Jonah. All right. First up. Ooh. Umineko, Arknights, or Endless Dungeon? Ooh, you made this hard. That is so hard. Seriously. Happy vacation. Let's go with Umineko. Patchwork, Chimera. Oh, wait, hold on. I have to fix my audio source. Ooh, Toccata. Wow. Wait, you can't hear it. Hold on. I forgot to fix it. I was filming myself playing some Lord of the Rings online, and it's my fault. You were hearing it through the headphones, actually. Here we go. That should be better. That is so cool. Really? Go ahead, Dan. That's crazy. Hey Brian, this is Patreon only right now. Thank you though. Appreciate that. It's so classically rooted. What's crazy is that this isn't a loop. They could have phoned this in so hard. Wow. That that is sorry, my mouth is full of popcorn. Here you go. Wow. I have some thoughts on that. That is so interesting to me. So I think right off the bat for me, I think what's really impressive is that it's like a traditional like Bach cantata style, right? But there's a couple modern twists in there. I also really like how we have this ostinato on the, I think it's somewhere around here. Oh yeah, so it's the piano. This is why I have a problem with doing analyses after songs, because I have to like, well, it's okay. Doing it not live will be easier. But so like right here, listen to the way that the piano. And then you also have the drums in here. But then the way that the organ comes back, it's always full of like almost this like rage. Depending on how it's played and depending on where it is in the register and depending on how it functions and depending on its like movement that it occurs, it creates this sense of real unrest. Oh God, this scared the shit. Creates a real feeling of unrest, which is really interesting. There is like a desperate, like clawing sound quality, but also someone mentioned in chat that this actually happens at a real negative moment in the scene, which is interesting because there's actually quite a bit of like clawing or reaching out and sort of extending forward that we hear, like pushing against something. And you really hear that in the way that the organ really slams, like the player is, or whoever is slamming those chords almost like this. And I think that's what's really effective there is that if you hear that actually, so what's cool about the organ is that you can move the foot pedals and also be playing whole notes, whole chords. And so what's happening in here is you're playing full chords. Chord, right? So you're like doing 4 chords, but then what's actually interesting really quickly underneath, listen to what's happening underneath. You have 2 different things. You have obviously the drums, but then you have the piano, and then listen to what we're doing with the feet in the organ. So what you're getting is the bass. So you're getting what would typically sound in a bass clef, or like the bass notes, or like a bass instrument, where you're holding on to notes and sort of sustaining them, and that's really great because what it does is it creates this sensation of suspension. So you have this like sha da ra ra, right? Over top, you have all this crazy movement, and that crazy movement is guiding us in the intensity of the piece. While this sustained thing here is sort of like, it's interesting. I mean, we can interpret that so many different ways. That's really neat. I also really appreciated that it was 6 minutes, but it didn't repeat and it kept moving forward. You know what I mean? I would say it's a little bit too long for my personal taste. It starts to blend and sort of sound alike after a while, which I don't think is really like a problem, but it's just something worth mentioning that sometimes when a good thing is heard too much, like sometimes singers are really talented, but because they're so good, you actually want to not listen to them anymore because it's like, it just sort of starts to blend together and sound similar. That was my one critique of this piece, is that it just continued to sound the same. So when it did shift, they were really nice shifts. But what happened is that we're getting like the shifts are happening in like over like 2 or 3 minute periods, which I think now that this is judging the music on the music alone, obviously not considering the context of the visual novel. So, yeah, really nice piece. All right, let's do, Rivali's theme, Super Earth Anthem, Exohuman, Exoprimal. We'll do the Super Earth Anthem because I saw this last time and I didn't get to do it, so I want to do it now. shall suffer our path. Yeah. Swear song. What I really like about the Helldivers soundtrack, more specifically this theme in particular, is that also I'm so sorry if I'm like eating and drinking it. I'm sorry. This is a casual affair. What I find really funny about this is that this is the first time we've had irony in the music. So one of the really cool things about Helldivers still is just the satire of it all, right? And this particular theme is just, a pretty basic anthem. I wouldn't say it's incredibly, it's not complex by any stretch of the imagination. As you heard me, I'm literally like singing along. I've never heard this piece before. It's just one of those, it's just written in a way that's incredibly catchy. It's intended that way because if it's part of like a propaganda or something, it naturally wants to be easy to listen to. And I also really appreciate how it's just so tonal, and it really does feel like something you would either sing in a church or it sounds like something you would sing in, a national anthem. And national anthems are written for everybody because that way everybody can sing them, right? Because if it's too crazy or too high, then it excludes people and then you have people screaming. You look at that, any national anthem, except maybe, all national anthems. The two ones that I know the most are, the Italian national anthem and the American national anthem, the United States national anthem. And those are written in a way, well, the Star Spangled Banner is actually kind of hard because it's pretty rangy. So I wouldn't say actually that the Star Spangled Banner is written not poorly, but it's not written for like just anybody. But anybody can sing it, of course. But like, the Italian national anthem, Fratelli d'Italia, se desta dell'elmo di Scipio de cinta la testa, dove la vittoria. You hear how many there's it's all the same range. It's like very small. Da 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 ya chioma eschiava di Roma e Dio la creò. It's all the same. And this is exactly the same too. If you look at like this. You hear it's just repeating. Right. So it's cool. I mean, it's very like, the Super Earth National Anthem. You hear that? But if you just, even those 30 seconds, they are identical. It's incredibly not rangy. And then here's the most replayed portion. I want to hear this really quick. Yeah, it's the same. You hear that? It's just segmented into different voice types, and then we have some stacking here. Sacrifice for paradise, and it's actually pretty wordy, and so every syllable is on a pitch where usually sometimes when we're listening to music, sung music especially, we'd want We sacrifice. We don't get that here. We get we sacrifice for paradise. You see how it's very syllabic? Anyway, nice piece. Nice piece. All right, Chaos Rings 2, Hallowed Beast. Fatal Frame, you're here just in time. Obscure, but Chaos Rings series has a lot of epic tracks, though a bit on the shorter side, so it loops. Still, at the song are highly recommended listening to. It's just sad that the games have been forgotten, was probably what you wrote. Oh, pulled from the App Store. Okay. I love it already. That soprano has a big wobble, though. No, she doesn't. I'm sorry, I said that. Oh, I like that re-emphasis. Sha. No, I love that. Square Enix publisher. The piano in here. Nice sustain there. So I wish that this was like 2 minutes longer, and I wish it had just a little bit of extra like writing in it. Because if you think about it, it's basically you're right, Fatal Frame. It's a pretty short. Oh god, I just spit over. It's a pretty short piece. Like I would say, it's probably a minute and a half. But there are a few things of note in here that are really, really quite nice. I mean, I do think that her lower register is a little bit off-putting to me, just because of my sort of like preferences when I hear opera singing. But her tone itself is quite nice. Just a little bit wide in the lower register, which is something that we hear sometimes with, assuming this soprano's maybe either untrained or a bit older. So there's a bit of a vibrato issue that occurs there. Not so much in the passaggio in the upper register, which is actually quite nice. And that's really where she shines. And I think that sort of the upper register, sort of ascension into the upper register through the middle and into the upper register is really nice, because it creates a sense of tension and it creates a sense of drama, because especially when we're in the middle and upper register from a vocal perspective, that's where we are, sort of the concept behind opera singing really becomes the primal scream. You know what I mean? What? Boo, 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 boo. Nope, that is weird. So, sorry, had a weird. But anyway, that was very distracting. So that's a thought process I have there. The Primal Scream is really, really fun, especially I think it's in here. No. Right here. I also like that she sustains. That's really efficient there. And then the re-emphasis in the choir right there. It's really effective. That's a nice song. You always bring out some really, really great classical-oriented pieces, Fatal Frame. Thank you. Hey, Captain Bones, no problem. I know that the Ubisoft forward is in half hour. Bayonetta 3, Pyre, Golf Club Wasteland, and Artifact. I'm going to go ahead and go with Golf Club Wasteland because I know that you would like this. Take My Hand from Golf Club Wasteland. What the fuck is that, Ivy?
Radio nostalgia for Mars.
Hello, all you Martians out there. It's your Terran fixed foot soul with a bit of that old world flavor. You're tuned to Radio Nostalgia from Mars. Breathe easy, kick back, and reminisce.
Take my hand, explaining me.
Oh? It's like a musical.
This project called humanity. Don't let go while on this ride. There will be no surprise. All I know is that we shouldn't be sad when we think of the road ahead. Take my hand.
Super pull back there.
Don't let go. I know we won't.
It's almost spoken.
Lost. Oh no, way home. Take my hand. Don't let go. The signs are fake and the maps are false, but we must go on.
Oh, thanks, JD. I appreciate that so much.
Whisper directions through our keys as we drift through this metropolis. Take your earphones off, listen to me, and I'll guide you through this cacophony. People talk, but they've nothing to say. Why would anyone know the way? Take my hand, don't let go. I know we won't.
Hey, Jack, thank you. I think some.
Oh no.
Not a lot, though.
Take my hand.
Oh, okay, we're going somewhere.
Don't let go. The signs are fake and the maps are false, but we must go on.
Hey, Daniel. Привет.
GPS, no Google Maps. They can help us with collecting photographs.
What is this game?
All I know is that we shouldn't be sad when we think of the road ahead.
The game has players explore desolate ruins of the earth that have been transformed into a golf course after an apocalyptic event kills all humanity except the extremely wealthy. "35 two-dimensional side-on golf stages."
This project called humanity.
So I listened to that. I don't. So something that I felt that this did extremely well was the capacity to thread the needle between song and ambient music. I really, really appreciate how delicate that line is and how well that this delivered it. Now, I also really enjoyed the singer's like vocal process. It was really hushed. There was a lot of hush tone in this, which is actually really, I think, challenging. And I also think that it showcases so much sensitivity, which is really, really important when we're talking about singing and expression. And take my no. Right. There's a rawness in this vocal quality that's really beautiful. The one thing that I feel is the biggest takeaway for me that actually veers us on a song that I don't particularly like is that it doesn't really go anywhere or do anything. It has moments and it flirts with it a few times. But it doesn't deliver the pay. There's no payoff, which I think makes it hard to listen to unless I'm just like zoning out doing something else. I would wonder where this exists in context if it does. I don't think it's a bad song, but it doesn't satisfy the natural like desire I have for climax and resolution, if that makes sense. Like we get kind of stuck in exposition, which is okay. And it's not a bad piece by any stretch of the imagination, but it doesn't satisfy me in the way that I would want. But it's very beautiful, and I think it's very evocative and certainly extremely. I don't know. I would say it's bleak, but it's not. It has sort of like almost a warm, like, I'm processing this terrible tragedy and I'm alone in the world. So I need to, like, how do I learn to love myself? How do I learn to be alone? Or how do I learn to navigate this world alone? And I think that sentiment really comes through, which is quite nice, but it just didn't do anything. I found it kind of, I wouldn't even say it was boring so much as it just like, I felt like it didn't allow me to really like have a release, which is something I like in songs, that especially when there's like a drum set and a forward movement, I'm just waiting for some sort of, yes, there was a lot of questions. Hey buddy. It posed a lot of questions with no answer, which is okay. And sometimes we don't have to have answers. Someone said it's like a Death Stranding track. And I would say even no, because like BB's theme is one of my favorite video game tunes, and it has a real profound crescendo and then a build and then release, which is something that we have to think about, because that's kind of important in music. We need to have, well, do we? I mean, it serves a purpose. It serves whatever purpose it is. I as you can see, I'm practicing what I preach, and I'm starting with some more critique and more personal opinion, as well as insight that I hear from the track. So hopefully this is meaningful to you, and hopefully you can glean something from it as well. But really interesting song, and that's why I picked it. Ivy is one of my patrons who always throws games that I've never heard of. Marok. I really love that Ivy challenges me with new tunes that I've never heard before, that are usually off the beaten path, because it makes it way more interesting. Was thinking about it for a while. Is it me or Japanese Eastern OSTs are more prevalent on your channel? Yes, that's definitely true. I'm very partial to Japanese composers, especially. I would love to explore more Western game OSTs, for sure. One of the inherent problems with that I think a lot of people don't fully recognize, or is the problem of copyright. A lot of Western composers, when I look at things like God of War, for instance, I would love to talk about Bear McCreary's songs, but one of the inherent problems with that is the copyright claim scenario. Copyright claims are not inherent. I'm so sorry, I just burped. Copyright claims are not necessarily a negative or even a harmful thing, but a copyright claim can turn into a strike if someone from Sony says, you know what, we didn't agree to this, and they decide to strike it. Claims are a normal part of being on YouTube. They're okay, but ideally they're avoided. We're actually about to listen to Darren Korb from Hades 2. I was getting claimed a lot on Darren Korb and Supergiant's games, and I actually had to ask him what the deal was, and he said most of those were fake, false claims, which I get a lot of. So I'm trying to reopen the door, and yeah, it's a little bit tough though. It's a little bit more complicated than what it seems like. Even though yes, my natural preference is to Japanese music. There's plenty of music from Fallout or Elder Scrolls or Jeremy Soule that I'd love to cover, but inherently the problem is, like, Skyrim got claimed, the Dragonborn got claimed, so I it's a little bit difficult to navigate, and it's a little bit more complicated than just I don't want to do them because I do. All right, let's listen to some Hades 2. This just came out obviously. I'm going to claw out your eyes and drown you. Okay. That sounds good at Imagine Natural.
Just like that hair, don't need to stare. Were you aware? Looks like something died there. That's why you're jealous of me. Not that I can blame you for it. I would be too if I were you. Too bad you must die now. I am gonna close your eyes and drown you. I am gonna close
I didn't love that. But what I did love are a couple different things. I loved this. Not that. This build up here is really interesting to me. Right here. So we built really high and then now we pull all the way back. Now that's the siren emphasis that I really like. So the thing for me is that it doesn't really do anything per se. It doesn't really, it sort of is the same for 3 minutes and 25 seconds. But what I really appreciate is the fact that this is clearly a character's intention, which is really fun to hear. Oh, it's diegetic. Okay. I also really like that it's very obvious what the character's intentions are. And it's kind of like the mocking tone in it is really, I think, quite satisfying. I think it's really, really fun that there's a sense of like, you know exactly where this character stands. Can't stay away, see him every day. You keep coming back here. Now it's plain to see you want to be under the sea. You know, it's a little bit like, you're so obsessed with me, not that I can blame you for it. I would be too if I were you. Which is actually a really nice, if it's a siren, it's a really, really neat concept too, because it's like stepping into that, and you know what I mean? But I like that it's, I'm going to claw out your eyes and then drown you to death because sirens. And then you're such a mess. That little dress looks like it's from the garbage. Yeah. So, I mean, I think I would have liked a little bit more ebbing and flowing. But I also just generally appreciate that, like, not everything has to be that deep, which is something to really think about, is that, like, sometimes a song can just be what it is for no, like, particular, like, you know, it just is what it is. And I think that can be really satisfying too. I also am really just generally impressed by the singing. This style of singing is pretty hard. Like, cause of the way that, so she has a vibrato up top, cause you hear it when she goes up to the upper register, when she switches into head voice. She does have vibrato, which is really cool, but it's a very, like, lay it all out there kind of song. And that sort of like, that sort of like almost like vomiting emotion is pretty challenging to do, because we also have to consider that we're enunciating every word again. And it's like, how do you make "I'm going to claw out your eyes, then drown you to death" have, like, you know, like first of all, be believable, and second of all, be received with honesty and be taken seriously. And I think that is one thing that this does extremely well. Yeah, and of course the hater, it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, no, I there are parts of it that I really like, but overall this wouldn't be something that I would put on my playlist, let's say. But I like that it's like straight up a diss track, and I also like the singing in it, and I also like the oh, okay, yeah. Oh, see, so it's Aaron, Ashley, okay, and then Judy. Okay. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, and I also think it showcases I think what's really neat about Hades is that even though it's written with the idea of ancient Greece, it's sort of approached in a modern way, which I think is something that's really fun. And it does have almost like a musical theater characterization to it, which I think is really cool. You could put this in Rent and it would, like, fit, you know what I mean? And I think that's really nice. The colloquialization of it is really, really approachable and friendly. And I think that that's one of the reasons why Hades is just successful, because it's not just the story about ancient Greeks. It's like, you know, sort of a modernization of it, if you will. But I do think it's, you could look at it two different ways. on the one hand, this, in Hades 1, we get Orpheus's Lament, which is an ungodly gorgeous piece of music. And obviously Darren sings that, and it's really high, really hard, really challenging, and really effective. And on the flip side, you get this, which showcases a musical versatility, even though the soundscape is the same. That's really impressive and should be like lauded. So anyway, not my favorite piece by any stretch of the imagination. I think I explained why. But there's aspects of it that are really nice and well done. Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. Thank you, Lenny. Juan. Oh, League of Legends. Phoenix. Oh, from the World Tour. All right, cool. I'm actually going to make this I'll make this a proper video so then I can cut it and upload it. So if you're here on the stream, you will be privy to a proper sneak peek. So this is Phoenix featuring Kaylin World. Oh, this is from the Worlds 2019 Worlds. All right, cool. Let's do it. Let me just hope you don't mind that I'm. Oh no, this is what all creators do, so why not? I'll do it too. I'm over here apologizing. I'm at work. All right, cool. Let's bring me on here. Hi, YouTube. Oh, wait. That's funny. All right. Let's check it out. First pass, we're going to listen. Second pass, I'm going to analyze. Third pass, I'm going to give my critique. That looks like Jinxie stuff. Some characters I don't know.
What you gonna do now? It's your reflection looking back to pull you down. So are you gonna die today and make it out alive? You gotta conquer the monster in your head and then you'll fly, fly, Phoenix, fly. It's time for a new empire. Go bury your demons, then tear down the ceiling, Phoenix, fly.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're playing with matches, come out of the ashes underneath you. A million voices in the crowd, they're screaming, stop now. Well, let them swallow the pride, you're turning the tide to true believers. Got them in the palm of your hand, you're playing God now. What you gonna do now?
Oh, wow. A pulled back aesthetic there, which is really cool.
So are you gonna die today or make it out alive? You gotta conquer the monster in your head and then you'll fly, fly, Phoenix, fly. It's time for a new empire. Go bury your demons, then tear down the ceiling, Phoenix, fly.
Oh, beautiful strings. That's very poetic, a very expressive string section there, with the drum section, of course. You know, that's really nice. It's what I would say is it's really hard to go backwards after listening to something like The Call, especially. And I just listened to this recently again, and Still Here, which are both, I think, much deeper pieces of music. Phoenix is quite nice, and I think it's really, really, you know, all of those songs that I just listed, these three that I've heard anyway, and also like Light and Shadow, I guess, is different but similar. They all have an intended purpose, which is to galvanize and motivate whoever, in this case people that are playing in the worlds, I guess, to be the best version of themselves, right? And so what we hear when we listen to that is a little bit stereotypical in that the piece is really like, come on, you can do it. Oh no, things are really bad, but you can do it. You're a phoenix. Or in The Call, it's, you know, man, you just got totally beat up. Now it's time to pick up the pieces and fight again. The Call is a little bit more rich in its texture, but we're not here to compare other tracks. We can do that in a separate video. But what I would point out is one of the things that I really liked about this was how this essentially, and go back and listen to this on your own time if you're interested in this, but basically what we have here is a crescendoed, slow and steady build. So we have essentially verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. But each time the chorus comes back, the stakes are raised. And that's actually really like genius sort of songwriting. And it's beautiful. And this is like one of these tracks that you could literally hear in a freaking on the radio, and no one would be worse for the wear. And it's actually kind of hilarious and bizarre that this and like things from, say, like Guilty Gear or other stuff, it could literally like be on the radio, but they're not, and there's like no explicable reason besides they're not there, and all the other reasons behind the scenes that exist for why they're not there. But so what's really cool to me about this is that we start off kind of like real, like kind of somber here, right? We have this really interesting, a little bit subtle, almost like soft spoken, what are you willing to lose? It's super like rhythmic, and it's really hang on. It's really whispered, and it's really intimate, and its intention is to be kind of pulled back and talking to us, like, you know, what are you willing to lose? It's almost whispered as if we're really close to each other. And that's really nice. And obviously the instrumentation in there is pretty cool too. And it's just this like kind of percussive plodding thing, sort of inorganic. And then we get a little bit of harmony over here, which is really nice. Listen to the almost the shadow elements, which matches the stuff on screen too. Right here, listen to the shadow element here. Right there, you hear the higher? Hear that? That's a really nice touch. I really appreciate that we have like a double layered there in the upper register. It sounds like an octave higher. And so it sort of re-emphasizes the intensity or the drama. But also on the screen, it's whatever character this is fighting against a shadow element of themselves right here. And I think that that's really evocative, because it's almost like which one is the higher voice and which one isn't. You know what I mean? Which is a really nice touch. And then if we fast forward a little bit, right here we have a natural build. And this is such a classic thing that we do here. Oh wait. Oh yeah, that's right. The anthems are for the players. You're right. You're right. Those are not the same. I shouldn't have compared them, since League is for Nathan. Cut all the comparisons out. This is the beauty of having an editor. But check this out too. There's a caesura that happens here, and a caesura is like a break, a pause in the music right here. You hear that? That's a big gap. And then obviously we have big heavy beats there. And then too vocally, it's da 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 ba da da ba da dum bo do bo. That's pretty simple. And what that really does is because she's not in the upper register at all, but because she's in the slightly upper register, that re-emphasis is really galvanizing and really powerful, which is the intention of these pieces. And then what's really cool is that then we have this real quiet part.
And now you're playing with matches, come out of the ashes underneath you.
And this is actually way more propulsive than in the beginning here.
What are you willing to lose? You cover your
It's a similar soundscape, but it's just a little bit more tuned back. So anyway, you know, there's just a couple little things that stuck out to me in this piece that are really, really nice. But I really want to talk about the final climax of this piece and why it's so like wonderful. Because in the second climax right here, listen to what you get. You get some right there. You hear that? So if we repeat the same thing 3 times, that would be so freaking boring, you know? But instead what we get is we get the first pass.
So are you gonna die today? Make it out alive. You gotta come
You get a little bit echo. Then the second time,
back to pull you down. So are you gonna die today? Make gotta conquer the monster in your head, and then you'll fly.
right? So you get a re-emphasis. And then the third time, I hope you liked my rendition of that. And then the third time, you get even more than that. But only this time we get the middle section as beautiful strings, which are really poetic and expressive.
So are you gonna die today? Make it out alive. You gotta conquer the monster in your head, and then you'll fly. Phoenix fly.
A little bit more like more like appoggiaturas and stuff, a little bit more like cascading around and stuff. So, you know, I mean, do I like this piece? Yeah, I think it's nice. I mean, it's not something I would listen to like in my day-to-day. It's a little bit, I don't want to say derivative because that makes it sound negative, but what I mean by derivative is that it's like pretty predictable. And in my general listening, I like stuff to be a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more surprising. I like to have my expectations sort of defiled, or well, I shouldn't say it like that, but you know what I mean? Point is like, it's just a little bit, it's rote. And I think it's a really nice and powerful piece, for galvanization and for intensity, but, it does sort of end up sounding sort of samey, even though there's some really nice touches in between. So, I mean, it's a nice song though. As always, thanks a ton. And, yeah, I'll see you later. All right, we're back. Thank you. Sorry for that. Listen, I couldn't pass up an opportunity to imagine if this entire stream was just me filming. I guess I could do that actually in the future. Just film every video that I wanted to talk about. Tarir, the Forgotten City. Defile my expectations. Get out of here, Daniel. I mean, there's nothing stopping me from technically filming 15 reaction videos. This is actually so I've been playing, how many hours on Guild Wars 2 do I have now? Hello there. Let's see. I just started really, oh, don't look at that. You're not supposed to see. Guild Wars 2. How many hours do I have? 32. It's a great game. So, no, look. So, Tarir, the Forgotten City. I was quite eager last stream. It's true, I was. Lena Rain. That's cool. There's no Ender Lilies on the Patreon, but I'm actually slowly working my way through it, so it may not be worth it. I will be revisiting tracks here pretty soon, yeah. I love that. Oh, I love this. It was postponed, but my session is actually next Monday, not today. So I thought I wasn't going to be able to do this today. Sorry. Siren, I just started Path of Fire. Well, just started like last week. I'm going pretty slowly because I want to get the mounts so I can go back and do living stories. Thanks, Juan. Wow. I loved all of that. You know how there's certain soundtracks that come up and you like listen to them and you're like, wow, that makes me want to play the game. Like that makes me want to walk into Tarir, the Forgotten City, so badly right now. Like, also, the other day I was thinking about melody, and I was thinking about like what makes a melody so good. And this was in reference to like something like Genshin Impact's soundtrack, because this has been a hotbed of discussion, you know. You know, if the music is falling off and all this other weird shit, whatever. And one of the things that I really like about Genshin, about World of Warcraft, a few other games, actually Guild Wars 2 as well, or Guild Wars 2, sorry, Guild of Wars, is the ambient music, while not necessarily singable, is really pleasant, right? And all of that has melody. And yet, something like this comes around. And, I mean, right here, listen to this. So this is all preamble. Like, you could almost cut all this. You can't, because it's all part of the process, right? But like, it's a natural exposition to the natural like movement of it. But listen to this. Like, you already get hints of the. Also, the way that the horns counteract there. That's beautiful stuff. Nice suspensions. Very sort of grandiose. And then swell into. But this is genius, because look at the way that we use. Listen to the way that we use the harp even to guide us into the big section here. That's so cool. First of all, Guild Wars 2 is not daunting because it's horizontal progress. So you're not missing out on anything. You just kind of do what you need to do. You pick whatever you want. You want to do the story, go do the story. You want to farm for mounts, you go farm for mounts. There's no like barrier to your like process in the game, which is really interesting. In fact, I think it's one of the best things about Guild Wars 2, more so than other MMOs, where you feel like I don't know. I like that I can just pick it up and just like, oh, well, I'm doing this today. You just go and do it. And there's like always someone around to do it with you. Anyway, but I love this right here. Big swell into. So like, that's a gorgeous melody. Like, that is a melody that is hummable, singable, and will be an earworm, which will get latched into you. The more I play it, the more it will get to like embed itself into you. Why? And I looked this up, and it seems like it's really hard to answer this question. And it may be one of these questions that is impossible to answer, because there is something so melodious about this that is just like all of this before is melodic, is whatever, you know? And then here though, what's the difference between this? That's a melody. It's florid, it's flowing. That's a melody. This is a melody. But then you thrust it into here. So like, I mean, that's an amazing thing, and I think it's a thing that can't necessarily be picked apart. It's just beautiful. And yeah, the tempo and the energy for sure, but I mean, there are plenty of pieces that have tempo and energy that don't have that. You know what I mean? And feeling more active is just like tempo. So I mean, like, tempo does certainly play a part. You know, but I think it's something worth thinking about when you hear a melody that you really love, that like makes you feel something and you feel really connected to, and it like sticks in your ear and you're humming it. Ask yourself why that moves you, or like what it feels like to you. And I think that's a really, really fun thing about music. And man, this track, I have nothing bad to say. I loved this. Loved it. Anyway. All right. Renshin. Ciel Nosurge. Kelly. Ein to him. The end song for chapter 3. Got jump scared. Isn't it Vocaloid? No, go ahead, Apple. Did she pass away of old age? Was she sick? This has Automata vibes. In terms of the rhythm and the way that the voice is being modified slightly. You know what's funny? I will so like I've listened to God, how many tracks from Arts and Elico and Ciel Nosurge now? Probably like what, 8 to 10 maybe? And each time I listen to them, and each time I'm like, bro, I don't fucking know what to say. Every time. Every time. And what's even funnier is that, like, I will advocate for this. I think this is so interesting. And it's fucking weird and it confuses me, but I also think it's gorgeous and beautiful all the same. Like how does he even break this down? You know? And what's really funny is that there's a whole like group of people that do have no idea what Ciel Nosurge or Artanelico are. I didn't know until it was brought to my attention. But there's a couple things in here that we hear this in a lot of them, in a lot of these tracks. But what I really like is like even just the way that it starts, just the stacking is so interesting. And I also didn't realize that all of this was Akiko Shikata, sorry. It just shows the genius of compositional work here. I mean, this is very funny. So I saw a Reddit post about me because I'm a megalomaniac and I tend to Reddit myself. You got to know what people are saying. I'm just kidding about the megalomania part. But I do actually Reddit myself, for better or for worse. And thankfully no one says anything too bad. But point is, someone made a thread about video game music and they featured, they were talking about my non-gamers react series, right? And how I haven't really invited anything that's like, there's a school of music called the Second Viennese School, which is all about essentially it's atonality. Composers like Schoenberg, Berg, Webern were writing without thinking about like tonal structure. Like they weren't thinking about tonal center where everything is revolving around a chord or a specific key. Something like the 12-tone row. I mean, this is stuff that like I actually didn't even really care to pay attention to at school because I hate atonality. So I'm like the last person to ask about 12-tone row. Anyway, and actually Artanelico is one of the things that I find would actually benefit like being showcased, and I'm gonna do it. By two non-gamers, because especially classical musicians, because it's experimental while being fairly tonal, and structurally you just never know where you're gonna go. And I find it really interesting. It's funny, I don't necessarily like any of the tracks, the caveat being I respect them immensely. They're just not necessarily the soundscape that I like, and yet there are things like this. The instrument choices, even just little things like that, that is so sublimely beautiful. But then, but like, look at how the way that she sings, as if I were to heal the withered sea of trees, as if I were to sow the golden seeds in a wasteland. Like, that is some poetic shit. That's like so profound to me. And then let's keep going. Never mind that this is written in a fucking programming language. So it's not even like, there is some Japanese later, but like, what? And then if we fast forward a little bit, the call and response is really beautiful too. So yeah, the flute, gorgeous, like the trading off of instruments is really beautiful. Here's the call and response, I think. So my road will continue endlessly, but everyone I meet will give me strength. And it has this it has a super, oh god, what's it called? A Monaka soundscape, Keiji Okabe soundscape. I think this came way before Keiji Okabe, I believe, or Keiji Okabe was working on other things at the time. But I like how even that, I can't even fathom what that's like. The modification vocally that has to occur, assuming it's natural. My road will continue endlessly, but everyone I meet will give me strength. And listen to the way that it's like. Like on the one hand, it's kind of ugly, but on the other hand, it is deeply interesting and like paves the idea forward that my road will continue endlessly, but everyone I meet will give me strength, right? Like there's almost like a voraciousness. There's some like just this is the kind of stuff that like you gotta like listen for because it's so cool how we get weird at we get weird ass vocalism, but the text serves the weird ass vocalism, you know? And then you've got that on the other side, and this is the same person. Like that chikara to naruna raba. That's beautiful. Beautiful melodic line. Will turn into power to save someone. What? That's beautiful. And I just want to go to the call and response section. Right here, call and response. We're just like at conversation. But listen to how so beto no ni choni da 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 do do do. That's so cool. This is what I want to convey to every life. And you hear the personal struggle to like express oneself. You know what I mean? Do you hear what I'm talking about? And we have to kind of listen for the way that we inflect, because inflection is a really big deal when it comes to singing. Because even to the red flowers blooming in the ground, that the melody of the vocal line says way more than the words actually can. You know what I mean? Like that's the best part about singing, is that singing actually takes words and makes them mean something, right? Like, because we can infer a lot of things when we see text, but we can't infer sound quality, and we can't infer like the way that the vocalism expresses itself to us. Something really cool about singing, you know. There's a line in Tosca. Can I sing it? Let's see. I'm gonna sing it and then express it to you. Racconti d'armonia di bellezze diverse e bruna gloria l'ardente amante mia. So this character says, l'ardente amante mia, my ardent lover. L'ardente amante mia, my ardent, beautiful lover. You know what I mean? It's cool. Anyway. Yeah, nice piece. Not my favorite. Never is. Really appreciate it every time I hear it. Thanks, French. Let's go with Ragnarok Online. Absolitude. Absolitude. Pretty. That's not anime. Wow. Wow. Oh, I love the piano in here. Did you just ask me to stop listening to anime stuff? But you're asking for Honkai Star Rail? I don't understand that. Oh, that's so fun. I mean, there's so much to like in that. I love that. Only 80,000 views in 8 years? Listen to this. The drum pattern, the rhythmic pattern. Oh, I love the piano in there too. The harpsichord is going off though, but then when you randomly add this. It's like a MIDI trumpet. That's fun. I fucking love that. Oh, I love that. I love that. Let's see. I love that. I'm not gonna drag you, but you can't say stop listening to anime music and then ask for Honkai Star Rail. Artanelico is less anime than Honkai Star Rail, as I would say. Let's see. The Clarion Call from Nikkei Goddess of Igno. You want to revel in the real. Revel in the real from Arknights. Fuck yeah. Adam Gubman, you got it. Fuck yeah. Speaking of anime. My new favorite game. Thank you for the reminder that I need to reach out. Is this Ling? Oh my god, it is. Yeah! The reason why it sounds modern is because of the brass. Big key shift here. Oh, call and response with the Arhu. And not the Koto, but the Bow. It's a Guzheng, yeah, pretty sure. I'll ask him. Oh, the brass in there. Ah, it's so great. Man, it's so great. I mean, there's just a lot to like in there. I mean, you know, I think it doesn't go as hard as like some of the other tracks. Like it definitely is. It definitely is like a little like meandery, and I think I would have liked like a steady climb. But I just really like it, like so much. It's such an energetic piece, and I also think that it really feels like It's really deeply connected to a sense of discovery and a sense of confidence, which is really fun to listen to as well. And I'm really excited. Adam is a friend, and I'm excited to. We're gonna I think I gotta text him today, but we're gonna sit down and listen to some of his favorite tracks that he's composed for Arknights tomorrow actually, and we're gonna record it. So. I'm really pumped about that. Someone asked, I think it was Violet, asked if you could hear me sing somewhere. And if you go to Bandcamp. Wait, I think it's marcomeatball.bandcamp.com. If you're looking for examples of my singing from back in my opera days, that is the place to do it. Everything is there. There's like 1, 2, 3. It looks like 4, 8, 12, 16. There's about 18 tracks that I hope you'll enjoy from various performances or recordings and stuff. So and that's marcomeatball.bandcamp.com. All right, let's keep it going. That was really fun. I like that the reason why you picked that was Adam Gubman. Dragon Age Origins from Kramen. I am the one. This will be nice. I'm really excited for the new Dragon Age that's coming out, and I've been wanting to sit down and play through these. I wanted to go back to Dragon Age Inquisition, but I always end up spending about 30 hours in the hinterlands, which is like the worst thing you could possibly do. It's definitely dangerous for momentum. Inon Zur. Also kind of mad that they did not actually speed up the walking when riding a horse. I read that the other day. Yeah, hold on. Let me find the tweet. This is gorgeous. Isn't that the main theme? Yeah, this is the theme. Gorgeous. So there's your Western music, Inon Zur. Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff. Oh shoot, I guess I'm gonna go play Dragon Age Origins after this stream. I'm gonna lock in. Well, no, I can't. I'm trying to catch up on Final Fantasy 14. I'm trying to lock in on too many games at one time. I'm always locking in. It's too much. I can't. I got videos I need to make. It's a good one. Really good one. It's just nice. It's just really, really beautiful. And you know, it's an atmospheric piece with a really nice melody. And that's really nice. You know? I don't listen to fan made, even though I like Loppy and I feature Loppy's music, but that was because it was official with Arknights. It's just easier to Pathologic too. Why you gotta make me shit myself? Darkness from Pathologic 2. I'm gonna poo poo. Oh god. Whoa. Oh. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Wow. I was fully prepared when this started to dislike it. Not because I'm a shitty person, but because Pathologic 2 is very intense, and I was prepared to be overwhelmed, and I was prepared for it to be I was prepared for it to be an ambient piece that is meant to make one uncomfortable, right? So like my defenses were up. But I have to say that was it was so deceptively deep, right? And there's like a real intensity and almost like it's weird. It's like there's a bleakness to it. It reminds me of without knowing anything about this or the movie that I'm about to reference, but it reminds me of oh God, what's that movie? Oh man. Hereditary. If that makes sense. It's got like a twinge of like nefariousness in it. Especially with the the vocalization is man, it's just like that was really like haunting. It was a really nice piece. I really, really appreciated this song in particular. Mostly because it just defied my expectations for what it was going to be, which is cool. It just feels like you're in a society where it's like everything seems really good, but then as things dive in, it gets worse, right? And then you start to like uncover the truths and things, and it gets worse, even worse. You know what I mean? So I loved that, and I love that it was also like really like beautifully sung, and it was really, there had a sound quality full of emotion, and it actually kept giving, even though it's really creepy and uncomfortable. Yeah, that was really, really interesting. Thank you for picking that. For those of you asking if you would like to be a part of the Patreon, there are multiple different tiers, $3 and up. The $10 tier is the Tosca tier, and that's the suggestions that we're listening to right now. There are 3 live streams a month. No, there's 4 now, aren't there? 4 live streams a month, depending on travel, which there's some coming up. But 2 public live streams, 1 private live stream at the end of the month, and then there is 1 anime stream. I increased it to 3 live streams because as the Patreon has gotten bigger, I wanted to make sure that everybody gets their chance to be able to, have their stuff heard. If I'm not sure I'm going to do this right now, but there is a possibility that I will fit half off the Patreon request tier for song suggestions to go on the channel. That will be 50% off, I think, forever, with a cap at 10. I think I have the capacity. I kind of miss doing reactions that were Patreon specific because it gives me a little bit of direction, but I'm also evolving a little bit channel wise. So I'm not sure that I'm going to do that, but stay tuned for that. And that would roll into effect next month. Yeah. So that's the question. Oh yes. I need to do some Hunt Showdown on the channel. Thank you for reminding me. All right, let's listen to The War of Brains. Feel the Power of Your Soul. SoundCloud. It's an iOS Android trading card game. Okay. Oh.
Feel the power.
Holy shit.
Feel the music. Feel the power. your soul, you gotta feel the power. Just feel the music. Can you feel it? In your soul. 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 That fine booty drop.
Oh my god. Wow.
Lifting you up from inside. Play with me now. Feel the power. Just feel the music. Feel the power. In your soul. Feel the power. Just feel the music. Can you feel it? In your soul. You gotta feel the power. Just feel the music. Feel the power. In your soul. You can feel the power. Just feel the music. Can you feel it? In your soul.
Ah, no, that's not a suggestion. That I tuned out about like a couple minutes in. I loved that. I love that. That's like, what's there to, there's nothing to analyze or discuss about it. It's just fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like satisfying. I loved that. It's just like, it's just fun. It's just fun. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need a piece that you're like not sitting here like, let me analyze everything and like, why do I like this? No, who fucking cares? Sometimes you just got to enjoy it, That was fun. That was really fun. But so this is my concern. This is my concern about doing videos in this new structure. After our conversation. If I listen to that entire track and then it gets done and I'm just like, man, I love that. I guess I would be the same as any other reactor on the internet. So I guess it could be worse. But like, I have nothing to say. It's so much fun. I love that. I guess that's all I could say. I don't fucking know. Ooh, Donkey Kong Country. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. King K, Gangplank Galleon. Let's do it. The underneath. Nice sustained. Wait, you know what this sounds like? I'm just going to pause for 10 seconds. Did you know that this sounds like the Zune trumpets from Touhou? That's all I can think about right there. Is this the way that they're in at the height of that? Fake opera singing there. La, 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 la. The stank on that. It's just fun. I mean, it's just good. I mean, like, I don't even think that has like that much depth into it, right? But it's really satisfying to listen to, and it's just really fun. It's exuberant. It's enthusiastic. It's joyful. I think the trumpet in the upper register too really adds like a level of like, it's weird. There's like almost a sense of goofiness to it. And I think it does really speak to Gangplank's sort of like, does anybody take Gangplank that seriously? You know what I mean? But yeah, I like that. It's just fun. It does become a little background noisy after a while though. But it's yeah, it's exuberant, it's joyful. Yeah. Or not Gangplank, sorry. What's his name? Yeah, no, Gangplank. Isn't that his name? What's his name? Gangplank? Gangplank Galleon? Isn't that what's the name of Croc, King K. Rool, sorry, I'm sorry. Gangplank is fucking League of Legends. Sorry, I haven't played. Actually, I'll tell you a story. I actually hate Donkey Kong. And that's why I don't remember any of their names. The amount of raging I've done in my life because of this fucking game. is stratospheric. Yeah, of all the Nintendo IPs, Donkey Kong is my absolute least favorite. I've played all of them. But, see, this is the thing. I don't like this trend of making games that are from the 90s anymore. You know why? That shit was so fucking hard. Like, everyone's like, oh man, we got to go back to the 90s. Fucking don't. Stop. Give me checkpoints. Give me save states. I do not want to go back to that. I don't. I did it for Ace Combat, but that's because I love that series. Like, if you lived in the 90s and you experienced fucking Donkey Kong Country, you don't want, maybe you do, but man, the Lion King, the fucking Lion King. Oh my God, fucking Mega Man. That's why I have no affinity for those. It's weird. Same with Star Wars Return of the Jedi. That game I have fucking nightmares about. Return of the Jedi was one of the hardest games, and I love Star Wars. And I just fucking man. And I could never get the boxes right, or just I couldn't do it. The cart, oh God, the cart stages, getting all the Kongs, I speak from experience. I just can't. I'm not shitting on you if you like those though. I'm just saying, I have no affinity. So I like this tune because it's pretty and it's fun, but it brings up some bad memories. And weirdly, I have this memory of playing Donkey Kong on my Game Boy Color while we were in Italy. And I remember waiting for my dad who was visiting his cousin, and I was waiting in the parking. It was he had parked the car, and I was playing Donkey Kong, and I remember being mad. Fuck, man. Bad memories. So I don't know. I have no affinity for Donkey Kong. So that's why I said Gangplank, because I don't know. I never got to King K. Rool. I mean, I think maybe once in Donkey Kong, in the first Donkey. And what was the first one? Oh, I guess Donkey Kong. And I like Diddy Kong Racing. That's fun to me. In some ways, I like Diddy Kong Racing more than Mario Kart. But that's why I don't have any affinity for Crash Bandicoot either. Crash Bandicoot is fucking impossible. I can't. I just have no... I mean, I respect you if you like those, but... Spyro is fine. Spyro made me nauseous. Oh, speaking of Touhou, here's some Touhou. Touhou 8. 2 Touhou 8s from Poison Zero and Mystic Square. Wait, didn't we do this? You're in Tahoots. Maiden's Capriccio and Love Colored Master Spark. That said, I would like to listen to Donkey Kong, the soundtrack. What the fuck? Love the piano. Very virtuosic. Whoa, big. And there's the loop. It's interesting. The upper register. So does this involves fire, doesn't it? It has to. Oops, I didn't change the. Someone said you're getting me through college. Oh man, I'm happy. I'm happy about that, Mothman. Don't worry about supporting. Just being here is enough. Appreciate that. There's got to be some fire involved because there's like a constant swirling sound. And actually, what it would say is that is the idea of really good melody. All right, let me listen to. Oh, okay. So it's from the same game, but a different. Okay, Touhou. Okay. Key change, as always. So both of these tracks are really interesting to me because they follow similar structures in terms of repetition and in terms of how they're structured. But what I like about Touhou actually is as I sort of, okay, so I'll tell you the truth. I've been a little bit reticent of Touhou because I'm like, why do people like this? And at first I was kind of like, man, they're asking for Touhou, but like this shit is kind of, is it what I like? And why do I not like it? And what I've actually started to discover, the more I listen to it, the more I like it. Kind of like in the same way that like the more I listen to Art Denelico and Ciel Nosurge, the more I appreciate that soundscape. And which goes to show that like if you don't like something, you should listen to it a lot. Or not a lot, but at least 6 times, I think. 6 times is like a good number. Be like, you know what? I tried this shit 6 times. This shit sucks, right? It's really a good barometer. But like you can't listen to something once and be like, I fucking hate that. That doesn't work. It really doesn't work. Like you have to like push through the discomfort and then you sort of emerge with either a renewed, hopefully an appreciation, or you just hate it. And the Touhou soundscape has become weirdly comforting. And I think that one of the things that I really like about it is that I'm like reaching a little bit here, so bear with me, but there's a real sense of, I mean, I talk about this a lot, but like I talked about it earlier with Phoenix and League of Legends, like the galvanization soundscape is really interesting to me because it usually requires fast rhythm, some sort of melody, and forward, like which the fast rhythm causes a forward propulsion, which then causes an impetus of like doing something. And in this particular case with Touhou, like what I really like, first of all, Touhou, what I really like about the forward momentum is that it's meditative. There's a trance-like state to it. It's like its purpose. Like we could sit here and like identify like little things that make it interesting, like the trumpet and the guitar and like the drum pattern and so on and so forth. And I think that would be a worthy task. But what I find more interesting is that there's almost a desperation in it, like of like an enthused, and if it's possible, an enthused desperation. You know what I mean? There's like a forward propulsion in here that is so satisfying because it never ends. And you're like, just like your back is against the wall and you know that the only way forward is like pushing through, and you like can't go backwards. You can't go forward. You have to like thrust yourself into it. And yeah, I think there is an adrenaline quality to it. Absolutely. That, but it's but it's pretty, if that makes sense. Like there's a pretty quality to it. And it actually reminds me a lot of Ace Combat music, not in a structure whatsoever, but in its intention. You know what I mean? And actually the more I've been listening to the soundtrack, the more I just desperately would like to try one of these. I'll probably hate it because I'm not a bullet hell type person, but it just seems fun. Yeah. Ooh, Monster Hunter Frontier G. Oh shit, yeah. Messenger of Calamity, Dyed in Deep Crimson. Crimson Fatalis. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh man, the chant underneath. Oh, it's like there's two different meters in here. Two of them. Wow, they're doing something rhythmically. They're doing something different than the chant chant. Oh man. Ba, 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 ba. Here comes the like da 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 da. Oh, I love this. Oh my god. That's like 4 different things. Oh my goodness. Here we go, here we go. Nice to stay. That sounds like Emmy Evans, yeah. Turn it up. Turn it up, girl. Oh, shun. Oh, boom, ba, chant with that tension in it. Oh my god. It's the same as the other Fatalis theme, White Fatalis. No. Oh, the hushed. Oh my god, it's such a good track. Oh, these drums are just pervasive. Wow. Ra-pa-pa-pa. Pa-pa-pa-pa. Ra-pa-pa-pa. 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 That does sound like Emmy Evans. Battle theme 1 of 2. Part 2 of 2. Flight of the Bumblebee. Wow. Man, I would have liked a little bit more melody in that, but if you consider the like how terrifying and terrible and like unpleasant Fatalis is to fight, I can understand why there's no like overarching melody. What you're getting instead is essentially just like structured tonal cacophony. The shadow is that's I think that's red. Crimson that's red. Crimson Fatalis, because this is the G rank Fatalis, so it's the same class of monster, just the higher, more difficult version. So that makes sense that they have a hint of the Crimson Fatalis theme in there, which is actually really effective. But this is actually terrifying. It's really uncomfortable. It's not a kind of piece that you like would just casually enjoy. There are just certain things in here that are really, really, really just like, wow. That's. Yeah, I mean, isn't Monster Hunter? It's for you. Wait, which one? What's Monster Hunter? So isn't this the one that has chanting in it? Oh, Monster Hunter Frontier G. So, yeah, that was intense. I mean, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't listen to that for fun at all. Did I like it? Yes. Is it situational? 1,000,000%. Is it something that? Well, no, I don't think he would want that in an orchestra. Like, no one would program that because it's too intense, if that makes sense. Like, that's not true, because they program the Rite of Spring all the time. But that's brutal, and like genuinely uncomfortable. Crosscode. I always like seeing crosscode. Let's check it out. Autumn's Rise. It sounds like autumn. Oh, fuck yeah. Accordion? Oh, man. Oh, that's so beautiful. Sunny days. It's like exploration music. Oh, that's like some Chrono Trigger stuff. Yeah, the puzzles concern me because I'm not a puzzle guy. Oh man, that's so vibrant. Oh, that's so nice. This should go on my underrated games that no one knows about video that I'm plotting in my brain. It's pretty known. Huh. It's got such Chrono Trigger vibes to it. It really does, doesn't it? Doesn't this sound like Chrono Trigger to you? Chrono Trigger and Pokemon? I could see that. Yeah, I probably wouldn't skip this either. Being known in the indie game scene would qualify as being unknown in the mainstream. I actually think that's true. Yeah. I had never heard of Crosscode before starting this channel. So, in my mind... Wow, guys, I have so many videos to make. It's not even funny. My brain just like went to like, I don't know why my brain just went to Titanfall 2, but I was like, shit, I gotta play that so I can make that a video. I have to play through Call of Duty World War II, Call of Duty Brothers in Arms, no, what's it called? Call of Duty World at War, Call of Duty 2, like make that first person shooters have good music video. Like there's so many things and my brain is like, and then I'm like, okay, well then do I just keep making reactions because they're easy and they're fun and like they're, you know, they've grown the channel this far. But then I'm like, no, but I should really like do like, you know, underrated gems video. Like, you know, I'm trying to do a little bit of everything. Or I started playing Lord of the Rings online yesterday because I was like, oh, I heard this music is really good. And then like I'm listening to it and I'm like, holy shit, this music is actually like audaciously good. Like there's a whole like ambient piece in Lord of the Rings Online that only has clarinet. Like what the fuck? Like that's bold. Like not bold in the sense that like it's like experimental, but bold in the sense that like no composer writes an ambient piece for simply fucking clarinet. Like that's not heard of. We don't hear that in video games. And so I'm like, man, this is so underrated. Even though it's like very typical orchestral music, it's like shocking how I was like, wow, I just can't believe that. I can't believe this. Like, yeah, you got the heroic stuff when you start the game or whatever, but like the fact that there's ambient clarinet music really like just fucking was like, what? like WoW has really intense orchestral pieces. Final Fantasy 14 has that melody driven motif music. Guild Wars 2 has the same sort of like it's all World of Warcraft and Guild Wars 2, like to me they have unique compositional soundscapes, but they're kind of homogenized in my ear. Like they're both good. And Lord of the Rings 2 Online has a similar soundscape, so it's very like Western classical orchestral music. But again, like just hearing a clarinet in Lord of the Rings Online as the only instrument in this ambient piece just kind of got my brain, it like scratched my brain in a weird way. It was so interesting. I wouldn't even say it's a good game. I mean, it's not a bad game, but the like you have to like buy, you can do it other ways, but in order, you have to like grind for it, but like, you can buy the horse at a lower level so you get the riding skill. And I'm like, ooh, that sounds nice, but like, am I going to be playing this in like 15 hours? So it's like, but I want to explore Middle Earth, but and I know that it like treats Middle Earth really, fleshes it out really well, but like it's like from 2007. Not that that matters. And then I'm like, ooh, EverQuest 2 could be fun because anyway. People still play it. I mean, it has a regular fan. Anyway, I was very impressed by Lord of the Rings Orion, and I was very impressed with Crosscode. You spent £500 in Lord of the Rings Online like 14 years ago. Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses, bacon and grits. Let's do it. Versus Lancastrians. Fuck yeah. Man, I love when Harpsichord gets the front seat. What the fuck? Yep. I love this type. I love this modernization of classic, of Baroque instruments. Man, I'm here for this. Sounds like Lacrimosa. It sounds like Mozart's Lacrimosa, but with a modern twist. I fucking love this. Oh! Yes! Oh my god! Ba-da-dum, pum, 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 pum. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-dum, pum, pum. Oh, man. Holy crap. What a fun loop. Oh my god. Oh, I love that so much. That's like, oh god, that's so satisfying. So first of all, the harpsichord, in general, in my world, the harpsichord, when I was singing, you really only hear it in a couple. You hear it in Mozart opera. You hear it in Bellini opera. Well, you mostly hear it in Mozart or mostly Mozart actually. Or you would hear it in Bach. Certainly a lot in Bach, and that's what this reminds me of. And of course Vivaldi too. But Bach and Mozart is really where my brain goes, and it usually serves as this accompaniment piece where you are, pram pram lassù vieni, noi andiamo a mangiare, pram pram, oddio dove vedi il cielo, pram pram. Right, so it's a bit in the background, and I mean, yes, in Bach's time period, you would hear harpsichord more in his oratorio works like the Bach St. Matthew Passion, the St. John Passion, the Judas Maccabeus. There's a piece that I sang. I had to learn an opera called, an oratorio, which is a liturgical work based on the life and times of Jesus Christ, or his followers, apostles. And Judas Maccabeus was a piece that I learned in a week because the singer had to bow out, and I showed up, and they were like, "Can you do this for $800?" And it was like literally like I had to learn it in 2 days, and I was like, "Yes." I was broke, and I was like, "Yes, I will." And There's nothing more terrifying than knowing you're going to stand in front, because in oratorio you stand in front of people. You don't leave the stage or like the whatever, the hall. So you like just sit there like brooding over the fact that not only are you uncomfortable because you're literally just like this in front of like 500 people, but you're also like 2 days to learn. I think it was like 4 arias, which are songs, 4 songs. One, I think it was like 2 duets, a quartet, and then a shit ton of recitativo, which is where you would mostly hear harpsichord. But yeah, it was, harpsichord is really cool because harpsichord is the guiding force for you to stay on pitch and to stay in the key, because so to go pram pram, and then you are singing notes with nothing underneath, and then the organ, the harpsichord comes in and catches you, and then it continues on. So I have a real like soft spot in my heart for harpsichord, because it like when you're about to fuck up, you just like rang rang, and then you're like lasso, and you're like whew, okay. But I loved hearing that mix of hip hop, or at least like a hip hop beat pattern mixed in with harpsichord, because that's like such a molding of a fusion, if you will. And look, I love like Asian, like there was a place in Philly where I used to live where they had like a bulgogi burger, where it was like bulgogi, the Korean marinated beef in like a burger patty with like French fries and stuff. And I go hard on some like Asian fusion or like Thai, Indian, if you whatever, like I'm all for that. And and that piece was just so satisfying, and the fact that there was a moment where it resolved, by the time I find it, also this as a note, this is really cool too. Bum, bum, ba-da-da-ba-dum, bum, bum. That little like grace note, appoggiatura, if you will, where it kind of goes down and back up to the pitch. It steps down, steps back up, steps over the note, and then resolves down on the note. It's such a neat little like Baroque thing. Right there. Bum, 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 bum. A little grace note. And then this is nice strings underneath. That's such a classically Baroque sounding melodic pattern. Oh man. And then you get a random chorus in the back you don't even pay attention to. But then the strings are really accenting the intensity here. And then that's a classic tonal resolution, and then you resolve, and it's just like so satisfying. But right here, listen how satisfying this, when we resolve to the tonic, we resolve to the chord that like is the structure of the entire piece right here. That is the key note there. And I love that so much. Love that so much. It's so good. I'd happily show a professional this, yes. I would happily show a professional this. Main theme from Suikoden. Oh, do you have to ask? This is the ensemble version. Let's do it. Oh man, the guitar. Boom. That is so lovely. This is like watching a sunset. It could even be a theme of love in a way. I love that. That's such a... Yeah. Nice sustained strings too. Oh, that is so pretty. And I think what I really love about, oh, yeah, that's another just like a great track that just like envelops you, washes over you. And I think what's so wonderful about music and what's so wonderful, I mean, certainly we're listening to video game music here, but like one of the things that's just so joyful to me about listening to these pieces is that each of them bring their own set of emotions to them. And it's like, well, how do they do that? Right. And ideally I would explain it to you. Tempo, rhythm, instrument choice, melodic pattern. And in this particular track, you get a real sense of like looking back on the good old days. You get a real sense of like there's almost like a bittersweetness to it, but it's not agitated. And I think part of that is the warmth of the guitar. You know what I mean? It's just really, really lovely. Orizzonte is the main theme, and Orizzonte means horizon. Yeah, Orizzonte. So you hear the horizon, right? You hear the like blooming of a flower when the sun rises up into the air, into the sky. You see the tulip expand or whatever. Like there's a real, when we're talking about like heady stuff that doesn't really, I mean, that it can mean anything to you. And it's just like these are just images that I see and like what music means to me and how I'm connecting to it. But there's just such a fascinating thing that occurs when you just have a guitar and sustained notes underneath. And it's a very simple piece. Like, you hear that? So as ba-da, ba-da, the second time the strings move with it, just like a little bit of a analysis right there. And then you get this little twinkling, which is a little accent. So the twinkling is just like there for, it's like when you're like making like mashed potatoes, like my fiance made mashed potatoes yesterday. And on top we put some chives, right? So it's just like, you just sprinkle some chives. You know what I mean? It's like chef's kiss, right? But the main meal is the sustained strings and the guitar. The guitar is a beautiful steak. The side is the mashed potatoes. And you have all this stuff in here. You know what I mean? Like that's just like lovely. I love that. How could you have anything bad to say about that? Don't. I'm analyzing a lot today, guys. This won't be like this every stream. I just was excited because today I was supposed to have a session for voiceover, and I am silly, and we've been watching a documentary about the rise and fall of the Third Reich, and we've been staying up late, and I was like, what day is it? And then my agent was like, the session's not till next week. And I was like, oh, okay, my bad. So I am very excited to be a part of it. So it won't, in some of these other Patreon streams, sometimes they really are just like a jukebox and we're just listening to something. It just depends on my mood and stuff. But today I'm really feeling like, how many more do we have? So Simple's next. Yeah, we're not going to get to everybody today. That's impossible. But that's why that's why I added a third Patreon stream. And again, if you're wondering how this works, it's 4 Patreon streams a month, depending on travel and stuff. Right now I have the flexibility, but at the end of the month I'm traveling, and then a couple for a week in July. I'm not going to be around. So it's 2 public streams, 1 private stream, and 1 anime private stream. and each person requests 3 tracks, and then you either let me pick one or you highlight the one you want to have picked in orange. You also get access to a private Discord where that's like mostly where I hang out, and when I can. And it's really just like a community of folks that love video game music. And there's no pressure, of course, but that's what we're doing right now. And I think actually a lot of the tracks that we've listened to today, I'm gonna have my editor extract pretty much all of them, anything that had like actual meaningful like discussion around, and upload them, because some of these are just so good. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, Cadence of Hyrule. Yes, thank you. All right, cool. Future World. Damn, that goes so hard. I have seen Joe's version, yes. Oh, you're a historian? Cool. Public streams are basically every week, once a week. Grandia 2 is so good. I really want to play those too, by the way. Damn, this is so cool. This goes pretty hard, too. Is this a sound? This is from Zelda? Like the original? Man, that the bass is fun. What's Future World? Like, what Zelda is that from? A Link to the Past? Ah. Social and economic historian. Wow, that's so awesome. I was almost a history teacher. Oh, that's stanky. You could put that, you could like dance to that in the club. Isn't that crazy? You could easily dance to that in the club. That's satisfying. I love that. Ralino, I think the game plan for music streams in general is going to be always on Fridays. This was supposed to be on last Friday, but I had a dentist. No, I don't remember why. I rescheduled. I rescheduled it for a reason. Was it for the dentist? No, the dentist was, I don't know. But so usually music streams are on Fridays. Oh, Summer Game Fest. Thank you. That's why I pushed it. That's right. But then the 21st of this month I won't be here, so that won't be happening. And then so it'll be the following. It'll probably be on Monday or Tuesday, the 23rd. 23rd or the 24th of June. But it also depends because, yeah, no, Fridays are always music streams. I've been trying to sort through how to structure Elden Ring. I don't think I'm going to play through Elden Ring until probably August. Yeah, because I want to listen to the music out of context first. And then I'm prepping for Dawn Trail, which I think I will stream. I think. I need to think about this. What time of the day on Friday? It's almost always 2 to 5 Eastern. Thank you. When will be the next Arknight stream? Pretty soon, I think. I think maybe tomorrow, actually. No, maybe. I don't know. I think tomorrow. Main theme from Shadow Warrior. Man, I never hear anybody talk about Shadow Warrior. I've seen these. I don't think I've ever played them. No, I haven't. Shit. Guilty Gear would be better. Well, it doesn't matter. Jesus. I love this Eastern European chant thing is so fucking cool. And you see it in Artanelico, you see it in... Wow. See it in Xenogears. Oh, I love that galvanization. It was shut down. Oh man, the sliding down. Suikoden. Jesus. Man, the strings, that's so Eastern, but with the orchestral sound of the West. Oh my God, bro. Bro, that is such a vibe. That is crazy good. There's so many little things in here that are just like so satisfying. And then the way that it fades out with just the bass guitar and the sort of like fading out sound quality. That's like, you know, what's interesting is that kind of a track, it makes you feel like you want to fight, but also like there's an emotionality behind it, even though it's like a very rageful piece. Oh man, it's like really good. That's really good. Yeah, like that's satisfying. There is nothing I could possibly say about that. Besides, it sounds fucking awesome. I remember I got a comment one time that someone said, you don't have to swear just because you think it's cool. And I'm like, I swear all the fucking time in my life. So, kindly fuck you. Void Stranger. This is what I used to sound like when I used to play piano. People that swear are more honest. Oh, there's the wrong notes. Yep, been there. It's giving me Home from Undertale. I love the guitar and the piano. Again, those simple organic instruments there that just have a real warm sound quality to them, even the piano in the upper register. Dum. And also you rarely hear piano and guitar together, like the little break there. And it's pretty simple, which makes it almost feel like it's like a child is playing or something, you know? Jeez, man. This is the most relaxed theme from Void Stranger I've heard, actually, which is really interesting to me. Oh, the upper register and the piano, the nice chords up there. Did I just get a Vindictus ad? Wow, I'm surprised by that. Oh god, I'm sorry. I was just looking at what kind of game this is. Again, nice open strings aiding in the piano. It's getting very somber though. There's the chords. Ah, now we're moving. Now it's the like, you got this, come on, you can do it. Nice. Bum, bum, bum. Some of those wrong notes, though, are very interesting. Oh, I love these chords, though. Right there. Chan, cha, da, da, cha, da, da, da. Oh, interesting, like a little twist there. That's a really warm-hearted sound. Now we're left. Now we're so much. Now we've got like 30 seconds left. I wonder if we're gonna be left with the twinkling. Yeah, we're left with the twinkling. Oh no. That's so fucking pretty. So, all right, let me put on my hat because I find this piece very interesting. I thought that was so beautiful. I thought that was so beautiful because it was earnest. I like that song because there were multiple different moments. I mean, the melody, the motif, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum. Like that is an earnest sound. And you start with the piano and the guitar, really, really gentle, really, really dulcet. The whole time, it's this like the desire for an embrace and not being able to receive it. Right? It's almost, but not quite that soundscape of unrequited love. Almost, because it's pretty requited, I would say. It's interesting. It's incredibly bare bones. It's incredibly simple. And it has so much heart and soul in it. If I were to present this to a classical musician that has studied piano, they would say it's incredibly basic, redundant, and boring. I am not saying that. And I think this is part of the interesting dilemma with finding things to critique, because if I were to listen to that again and not even think about like what I'm hearing and just like let it wash, and you should try this sometime, put on your favorite piece of music or like a piece of music, like, I don't know, that you don't know, and just like let it wash. The most interesting thing can occur is you can literally feel, if you like think about your life, you can literally feel emotion, like spill out. If you think about something. So it's funny. I made a video about the final mission in Destiny, and it was a messy, ugly video. I haven't cried in a video in a while. I used to cry all the time before I was medicated. And right around the time that my dad died, well, it's called grieving, and it's a fucking terrible feeling. And so I would cry a lot at like the drop of a hat. And over time that sort of goes away, except for like specific instances. And so the end of Destiny was very emotional for me, 10 years and all that sort of stuff. And I wept, and it was an ugly cry, which is maybe not like the best idea for a YouTube video, but also fuck 'em. I'm 36-year-old man. I'm very comfortable with my emotions. I've been to therapy. I'm good. Like, you come at me if you think that crying is stupid. And I got so busy defending my reasoning for crying that I can't remember my main point. What was my point? Oh, it's really hard to be critical. It's really hard to be critical of something because there's so much joy in this music. And there's so much joy in listening to music and being moved by it. And the reason why I was crying was not because of the ending of Destiny, which was very touching, but it was actually because I was emotional considering and connecting to my personal life, right? So like the beautiful thing about music in a piece like this, Familiar Life, is that we can actually like be transported away from the context, although the context is equally important. Let's be clear. But we can also take this music away, and if we let it like sort of wash over us, sure, we might remember the context of the game and be very emotional about that, or we can also connect to our real life scenarios and real life circumstances and real life losses and victories and whatever, and feel those in a different way too. And so I would encourage you the next time that you're listening to a piece of music like this one that's very peaceful and beautiful to connect it to yourself. And so while if I were to play this for somebody who has their critical ear on and they're like, oh, this music is really rudimentary and kind of basic, because that's the intention, right? The missed notes are intentional because it's supposed to sound human, kind of in the same way that Home from Undertale has a couple like slowed rhythms, or it's not necessarily correct or whatever. It's beautiful. And it's really hard for me to be critical about something like that because its intention is to be pure and to be innocent and to have a childlike quality to it. It's really hard. Well, I mean, yeah, okay, obviously, yeah, it's a little repetitive. Okay, you know what I mean? But it's earnest, and that to me almost matters more. You know what I mean? Anyway, that was a rant about that. Really beautiful piece. Every piece you've sent me from Void Stranger has been really lovely to listen to. I appreciate that. So Fate Grand Order. I had to look this up because I was like, this is a trick, but it's not. Calamity of Curse. Fate Grand Order, Cosmos in the Lost Belt. Composer Keita Haga, one of the Calamities in Lost Belt, Britain. Oh. I like the little crunch. Did you say that after I said it, or did you notice it? How did you know that I said he likes the crunch? I like the church bells. That's a loop. So I have to say, I didn't care for that as much. There were certain aspects of it that I liked individually, but in its entirety, it felt a little bit repetitive, and it didn't really feel like it sort of expanded from that repetition, if that makes sense. Now, individually, though, there were a couple things that I really liked about it. I really liked the sense of grandiosity, so the sense of scale. I really like the sense of scale because you have the chorus, the strings, and there was one other instrument that was essentially that's how we're building size, right? And that's a very common thing in video games when we're building usually unison movement with multiple different layers of instruments. The intention is grandiosity and bigness. I really liked that the church bells came in, and it left me with the sensation of religiosity, and it left me with the feeling of almost like religious supremacy, or like an antichrist character, which I really appreciated because they're also like the church bells are not a common instrument choice, and I really dug that. I also really liked, like I said, the crunch. Hold on one second. Let me think. It's this. I like this too because this is just like casual ascension. Here, you hear how cacophonous? That's like layered, like stacked on stacked on stacked. And that's really nice. Yada, 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 right. So like rhythmically, that's really interesting to me. Like I like that the strings spin around there, but yeah, but that's certainly I wouldn't say that's like a piece I particularly enjoyed, but God, it's so hard for me to be critical. Oh my God, it's so hard. I'm practicing with you on this stream. It's really difficult. Because I don't want to offend you, because I know that people love the pieces that they submit, but this is good practice. It's good practice. But yeah, but that was the personal reason why I didn't enjoy it. But there were still some things that, you know, you always, it's really important to find things that you do like about stuff, because unless you really hate fucking everything, it's good to find things you like. You got this. But thank you again. I mean, I've been wanting to listen to some Fate. The only Fate that I've listened to is, wait, is it Samurai Remnant? So that was interesting, and I actually would like to hear more. And it looks like Xenonic posted 2 others, so Witch Trials and Fate Grand Order King of Human themes. So King of Humans theme. So it looks like I'll have more opportunities to listen to more FGL, because I would like to. Nashandra from Dark Souls 2. Did I fight Nashandra? There's so many bosses. So I paused my playthrough of Dark Souls 2 because Withering Waves came out. I'm playing Withering Waves kind of loosely, touch and go here. But I had stopped my Dark Souls 2 playthrough, and honestly, okay, she's the DLC boss. The chances of me getting back to Dark Souls 2 before October, like, slim to none at this rate. So we'll see though. Why is this 16 minutes? Oh, it's extended. Oh wow, that's really beautiful. The chant of someone who's lost everything, yeah? She's like sitting there, like kind of talking to herself, like bobbing up and down, like what the fuck happened? Oh, that's dissonant crunch with that soprano choir on top is nice. And the piano and the harpsichord take over. This is really an internal, like, what have I become? Who am I? What does my existence mean? Like, I can't believe that I lost everything. But God, that right there is really satisfyingly beautiful in an unbeautiful sort of way. This is This is Nashandra. And then we have like the horns moving up. Acapella. Harpsichord. A little bit of spinning, but it's actually pretty subdued. Wow. Oh, there's the... Oh. This is someone that's lost everything. And it's just repeating, yeah? This is a person that's lost their mind. Like, there's just no turning back from this, like, soundscape or this world. Ooh. It's like psychosis. The piano accents in the back. And then we repeat. Huh. Man, that's... Yada tada 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 yada yada tada. And there's a little bit of major that's trying to come through. That's really interesting. But it's being suppressed. And we're left with the solo voice as the one that's front and center. There's that capella again. Oh, show. I feel like that's a pretty good place to stop. That was 5 minutes. Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of the more interesting pieces from Dark Souls 2 I've heard. I mean, shockingly, Dark Souls 2, I think, is kind of slept on. I mean, yes, there's the meter there, the poise system that is kind of shitty, but other than that, like, I thought that was really, really, really good. It's impressively complicated, and I think it's impressively dissonant, and it doesn't sound... One of the things that I really, having gone back and re-listened to the Elden Ring OST for a video that I'm planning to release here in the next couple, before Shadow of the Erdtree, one of the things that I really like about Dark Souls 2's soundtrack is that it's very varied. And one of the other things that's really interesting about it is that everything has an identity that is away from, it's not homogenized. Like, there's a real identity in each individual piece, and each character sounds different. Now, you could say that for most other of the FromSoft bosses as well, but having listened to many of them, and they do have their own individual sounds, I think that Dark Souls 2 is one of my favorite. I don't think it's as good as Bloodborne. I want to do a whole ranking of this, but I need to, like, sit down and listen to all of them. But I would say Dark Souls 2 is probably, like, God, I think it might even be like second or third best for me. It's really interesting. It's a lot more plotty. It's a lot less plotty than Dark Souls, for instance, and it's much more like legato and fluid, which is, it's just very interesting. This is very interesting. And in a way, Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2 are better to me. Now, do I think that Elden Ring has a good DLC or a good soundtrack? Yes. Do I think that it's the best? No, I don't. I think it benefits from some modernization techniques and some, like, clear, crisper sound. But that's, I mean, also, like, looking at how old these other games are. But But Bloodborne's also my favorite of the series and the one that I played the most, and like the one I cared to play the most after Dark Souls 3. So it was Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and then the other ones I never really finished until recently, which I finished Dark Souls 1. So in my mind, yeah, I really appreciated how unique this sounded. So, yeah. Okay. So, it's 5:20. So this will be the last piece for the day, just so you understand how this structurally will work. The next live stream, which I think will be next, what's the date? What date is it? It's the 10th, which means next Friday is June calendar. Okay, yeah, so we may do this again on the 14th for the second one, or we will do for sure the 28th. That'll be the third one. So I need to pick a different date and the anime stream. So I think I'll do the 10th, the 14th, the 19th, and the 28th, I think will be the tentative schedule for music listening streams. Just because I'm not here on the 21st. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to march down and go through basically like everyone gets their shot, whether it's a public stream or a private stream or whatever. And if worse comes to shove, we can remove depending on how big this continues to get, which I'm grateful for, immensely grateful for, we may get rid of the anime stream altogether and keep prioritizing just listening to everybody's piece. Okay, let's listen to Metro Exodus. Nice. Race Against Fate. Did I listen? I think I definitely heard this because I played it, but I think I heard it on the live stream recently too. What a good game. Man, what a good game. Well, these will, if they don't get claimed, they stay on YouTube. If they get claimed, I usually will put them on Patreon. And that's for any tier, whether it's $2 to $3 and up, they have access. Everyone has access to that. But this, I don't think there was anything that will get copyright claimed. So this one will probably stay on YouTube. Wow. You gotta play this game. Oh man, that's so freaking gorgeous. The tremolo on the strings too. Oh. I've played all three. They're so good. Oh, God. I really don't believe that. It's so heart-wrenching. It's so heartfelt. It's so real. Nice heavy drums. It's picking up in tempo in such a big way. You hear that? It's like it's the train moving. Nice slowing down. Really, really, really touching. And I love the, you know, because in Metro Exodus you're on a train the whole time, and so you really do feel like you're like what's the word I'm trying to say? You are constantly essentially like in forward momentum. You're pummeling your way. Well, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Like you're being like fate can't stop fate. And so in fact, at a certain point, fate actually takes over and you're propelled. Thank you. You're propelled. Oh my God, propelled. You are, I swear, I gotta stop staying up till 3 watching The Rise of the Third Reich. It's on Netflix. It's really good. Never before seen like in color footage. Shit's fucking, as a history person and the atrocities of World War II, I literally am like, anyway, and I'm over there like, oh, this is Operation Valkyrie. There's like a nonstop, like you can't stop the flow of time at a certain juncture in life. Like it just like starts to propel and go faster and faster and faster and faster and faster until its ultimate end. You know what I mean? It's so fucking cool. And I love this game, and I played the absolute shit out of this. It's all about inertia. It's always like, I think that's why the composer probably picks up speed, because it's almost like we're being forced into meeting fate head on, right? And like there's no stopping the train once it moves forward. And I think that's why we hear the propulsion. That's what I was looking for. With the sort of, you know, you're being forced into a scenario that you have no choice, no control over. It's almost like the plucked instrument there that I don't know the name of it. It's a Eastern, you hear it a lot in Slavic music and in Russian music. That almost sounds to me like Artyom, and it's really, really, really just so evocative. Really evocative. So anyway, that was really fun. So we'll see each other on Friday, the 14th, and then I will be doing some other streams this week. I have been playing Undertides from Arknights, and I'm trying to figure out when to start streaming more Final Fantasy 14 just to get back on the horse with that. I've been leveling up my, I'm almost a level 82 warrior. We're getting there to level 90 before Dawn Trail. So thanks a ton. We'll see you on Friday for part 2 of this. And good to have you. And then I will see you the next week as well. So the 14th is the next of the Patreon streams. Part 2 of this, as we go through the list of June. I'm going to pick up where I left off, so everyone gets one song done. I hope that makes sense. Alrighty. Thanks, everybody. See you later. Great to have